So in case you needed further proof that 2016 kind of sucks, the LA Kings just lost to the Vancouver Canucks. Which really isn't proof that 2016 sucks so much as it is proof that the LA Kings will go out of their way to play down to bad teams and lose to them. You get us playing teams that are like top of their game like the Penguins, and the Kings are like, no goals for you, we're gonna totally kick your butt in overtime. And you get the Canucks, who aren't even a contender right now to be in the wild card spots. They're like, oh, we're gonna be behind you the entire first period. We are going to not block any of your shots, and we're not going to screen your goaltender at all, so all of our shots... Oh, wait, are we even getting shots in the first period? Not so much. It was, the first period at least, was a complete disaster. The Kings really looked like they had not woken up yet, and considering they just had a, what, 4-day Christmas break? Don't really know how that happened. So the first goal came on a Canucks power play. It was the first power play that the Kings have allowed, or I guess the first kill that the Kings have allowed a goal in 10 games. They had a 9-game streak and 26 penalties that they had killed successfully. And it was the first penalty of the game, and it came maybe like 3 minutes into it. So you know it's, oh no, I'm sorry, not even 3 minutes. The goal came about 3 minutes in. The penalty came from Jake Muzzin 53 seconds into the game. And so you know it's not going to be one of those games, especially when it took maybe 5 minutes to play the first 3 minutes of the game. It was slow. It was full of no chemistry in the first period. I swear Daryl Sutter, he throws darts at a board, and then that is how he picks his lines. I don't even know. I love Kopitar and I love Brown, but they are completely different styles of play. Brown is a grinder. He works well with Nick Dowd. Kopi usually works well with Gaborik, but the two of them act like they haven't seen the ice in years. Gaborik has, I know, come off an injury, but he is at the point now where he should be back in his game, and Kopitar looks like he still has one, even though he's one of the only players that hasn't been out, and I'm starting to wonder if maybe it would be a good thing if they did sit him out for injury just for a few games to get him back up and healthy, because he is banged up, snake-bitten, cannot shoot the puck to save his life. It's sad. So they're down 1-0 really early in. The Canucks, for once, are out shooting us like crazy. I think it was 12-4 by the end of the first period. It was not looking good. Kings could not get any zone time. The only zone time they had was on a power play, which I know, we actually had one power play this game. Yay! Of course, didn't do anything with it, just kind of, smushed the puck around a little bit. So some zone time, but no actual good penetrating shots, and no screens in front of Miller. Absolutely nothing. He saw literally every shot that came to him tonight, and there was no way that if Miller saw the shot, the shots that we were giving him, at least, they were easy. They weren't even hard shots for him to stop. So it was a disappointing first period. Somebody needed to go give them coffee, and then the second period started, and you could tell that they hadn't gotten it yet because about like a minute or so in, less than that, 23-ish seconds in, they scored again. Deflection by Henrik Sedin, who hasn't had a point in 10 games. You're welcome. The LA Kings are just so generous. Every time they play, bad teams have had a really bad losing streak, they're like, we're gonna help you out, guys. All of those players who haven't done anything, we're gonna be the team that you guys, get your groove back. You're welcome. We're so freaking generous like that. So Doughty was the only one by the net. Two players just all up in Budai's grill right there. And of course one of them tips the shot in, so we're 2-0. And then 30 seconds later they were 3-0. Absolute blast from the point. Thank God. Offsides. It was a bad opening. And I guess that, and the fact that they called off the second goal there, which meant they were only up, or I'm sorry, the Kings were only down 2-0, I guess gave them that little spark and kick in the butt that they needed, because they finally actually started playing some hockey. It wasn't great hockey, but it was the typical Kings possession game where they just outshoot the crap out of you and don't let you get any shots on goal, except that none of the shots we were scoring tonight, we're not scoring because we didn't do that very well, but none of the shots that we were taking tonight were any good. There was nothing dangerous about any of them. The Canucks totally had their scouting report accurate. They tagged Carter like he was a car. Like, I don't know how Carter even stepped out onto the ice, because they dogged him all game, because they know Jeff Carter is the only one that scores for us. 22.1% of goals coming into this game, and it's not going to change much because we only scored one, came from Jeff Carter. That's almost a quarter of the entire goal of our entire team coming from one player, and that is not sustainable when you're the rest of the team. Like, that's not okay. Everybody else needs to start stepping up. And when you consider that Alec Martinez had like 9 or 10 of them, because he was really stepping up in the first part of our season, and he's a defenseman, where are our forwards? Have they gone to sleep? Are they all just as injured as everybody else? Toffoli wasn't in it tonight. He is officially placed on injured reserve. So we look to Tanner Pearson, the third member of that 70s line, to get us our goal. And sure enough, third period, he does. Only at this point, there's about 3 minutes left in the game. And that is not a whole lot, considering that at this point we had 34 shots on goal. 34. Not a single one of them was getting by Miller until this from Tanner. So this, of course, is unsurprisingly Jeff Carter setting up this whole thing. Of course he does, because he's the only one actually doing offensive things. Like I just said, it's getting really frustrating. So Carter sets up the shot. Pearson's like turning around and spinning, and he manages to flick one off that just goes top shelf. It was too little too late, though, because you can't expect to have one goal with 3 minutes left in the game and then be able to get the second one when you spent almost 3 entire periods shooting the crap out of it but not doing anything. So they pulled Budaj, but of course to no avail. Like I said, 3 minutes, not a whole lot to do. So the LA Kings have another game tomorrow against the Oilers, who are surprisingly second in the league right now. Or not, I'm sorry, not the league, in our division. So that could really go either way. The Kings could take their loss from tonight and go up against what is a arguably good team right now and play really strong hockey, or they could completely collapse into a hole and see if maybe next year they can dig themselves out of it. I really, really hope that it's the former. We could use some scoring so badly. We could use some consistency so badly. And maybe if Sutter decided to stop changing up and flicking up his lines like they were in a blender, then maybe we would get that. We'll see. So not the best performance from the Kings tonight. Let's hope they learn and build.